Hi, welcome. My name is Danny. I was asked by Saskia to give a little 15-minute presentation on any topic I like to speak about. And I chose a topic I'm mostly passionate about. It correlates to the project I'm working on right now that is called StartupGeist. It's a website, a podcast, and soon to be courses to help entrepreneurs and freelancers to get better at what they do. And in the last 6 months, I mostly wrote about how to become an entrepreneur, what is a startup, what is entrepreneurship, how can you prepare for starting a startup, both from a founder perspective and an employee's perspective. Thanks for listening. I don't know you guys. I hope you will get a better picture after listening to me. I hope it will be entertaining. I will give my best to entertain you and to inform you. And basically the 7 steps I wrote about on the following page, that is startupgeist.com/start. So there you can read about the 7 steps. I will add a few of my let's say stories I don't share on the website so that you can better relate to the points and why I believe you should follow them. To give you a little bit of background, I'm 31. I live in Berlin right now. I will be in Asia, Chiang Mai and Bali during the winter. I'm escaping the European winter. I basically work as a digital nomad. I work remotely. I started my career in Silicon Valley working on the startup genome, analyzing startups, what makes startups successful, and then we analyzed more than 20,000 startups around the world, and we put them into startup hubs, and we analyzed why startups are more successful in certain places than others. And you might have heard about the Startup Ecosystem Report, and I was a co-author in 2012 and 2015. After that, I started my own startup. So I came back from Silicon Valley. I went back to my hometown, Berlin. I started my own startup that I left after roughly 2 years. Later, my co-founders sold it to another company. And ever since, I'm working as a freelancer, coaching startups in accelerator programs like Startup Bootcamp here in Berlin or in London, or Beta House, a co-working space here in Berlin. And I work, as I said, remotely, helping entrepreneurs via mastermind groups, coaching calls, and soon to be digital products. Okay, here we go. The 7 steps, or at least actions, I recommend to take for preparing your entrepreneur journey. I like to think about them as how to become an entrepreneur. And my beliefs are entrepreneurs are not born, we are self-made. And I choose to become an entrepreneur because I want to be self-employed. I want to start a business and have a good life. I don't agree with this notion that most entrepreneurs are a mess, busy, don't have a good life. So that's why I started StartupGeist, to combine a sense of business and a sense of health, well-being and happiness while building a company. Of course, there are certain times that are stressful and we need to hit a deadline, we need to get things done. But I don't agree with the notion that it must be extremely busy, that we need to burn out. And certainly it might be part of the startup world, but there are other opportunities out there and other options to start a company. I think, or I believe in the right mindset and practicing the right entrepreneurial skills. And you will find out about it on my blog. The 3 key entrepreneurial skills I see for myself and I try to leverage is, first is focus/productivity. Another one is self-awareness. And a third one is caring. Caring in a broader sense, but in a more granular sense, it means caring for your customer, caring for their pain, caring for their problem, and finding a solution or solutions that helps your potential customers to solve this pain. That's entrepreneurship. That's building a business. You identify a pain, you empathize with the customer behind it, you find a working solution, you offer this solution for a good price, and here you go with the business. I know it sounds overly simplistic, but that's basically it. Okay, let's dive into the 7 steps. I might need to record it because I'm stumbling here. Let's see what Saskia will say. So the first step in entrepreneurship and business basics is knowledge. Learn the basics. Be better informed. Learn what entrepreneurship is. Learn what a startup is. Why is a startup different from a big company? Why is a startup different from lifestyle business? What is passive income? How can you build a business on YouTube? How can you build a business selling ebooks, selling online courses, being an affiliate marketer? How can you build a business writing with content marketing, SEO, how to build an agency? There are literally thousands of opportunities out there how to build a business today. And you need to find your niche, your interest, your skills, your passion. I know it's a lot, it's an information overload, but that's your job in successfully becoming an entrepreneur. Knowing what you want, and so learn the basics. And if you wonder why I'm sometimes looking down, that's where I open the website startupgeist.com/start, and I'm basically getting a few insights. One minor remark about knowledge: I spend too much time in the knowledge acquiring period. Actually, you can't really prepare for your journey in just reading books, in just speaking to people. You must do. So essentially, after acquiring a lot of knowledge, and ideally alongside learning or reading, you learn, you practice, you apply what you read, and then it becomes really, really deep. So I urge you to not only read, but have the guts to start something. And that's actually the 7th point, and that's the loop I'm gonna make. It's start a side project. Anything, start anything, a blog, an ebook, collect whatever you want and share it with the world and see if it resonates with people. Because 70% of the stuff we apply, or the stuff we apply, 75% we remember. And just listening to what I'm talking about here and stumbling a little bit around, you just will remember 10%. And actually teaching someone else stuff you learned, you will internalize it 90%. So that's why starting a side project, it's critically important. Like actions, actions, actions. So whatever you read, whatever knowledge you acquire as a first step, you need to apply it in the real world. You need to, and don't write a business plan. That's theory shit. Sorry, that's just theory. You need to create a website, come up with an offer, speak to a customer, and that must be a specific customer. Don't serve everyone. Find a problem you want to solve, then drive traffic to this website. It could be Facebook ads, could be anything. Engage on communities, share on social media, and see if it resonates with people. So that's the 7th step. That's the execution part. So take your knowledge and then apply it in the end. Start a side project, and that's how you best learn. A few mindsets behind a mindset you should have while starting and executing. Always invest in yourself, and at the beginning don't do things that don't scale. Don't think about it must be a startup, it must be scalable. It can be actually really, really small. It can be an event, it can be a learning cycle for your friends. Just organize something. It might be the next birthday of your mom or your grandma, and think about something special there. So show execution skills. Whatever this means to you, make something happen. There's no silver bullet. Don't look for hacks. Being an entrepreneur is not the goal. That's just a mean. So really, an entrepreneur who wants to become rich, you're gonna fail. I mean, there are a lot of successful entrepreneurs who out there who love doing business, who are getting extremely rich, and they are extremely driven by getting rich and by money. That's not my path, and that's actually another point I'm gonna make. According to your values, find out what you want in life. What are your values? What do you stand for? And this pretty much determines the business model you go in, the market you want to serve, the product you want to offer, and that's critically important. And this goes alongside with 3rd, so we had knowledge and execution, then we had your values, and 4th, purpose. What topic really motivates you? Embrace serendipity. I believe that coincidences happen for a reason. So if you go out there, learn a lot, and actually point 5, it's network. Visit network events. Go among people, talk to them. And that's where you embrace serendipity. That's where coincidences happen. And it's critically important to know what you want, like a purpose, and don't stress out. Even I don't have clearly defined my purpose. No one really has. But if you don't know your purpose, make it your goal to know your purpose. So that's my goal right now. It's to day by day get a better picture about what I want to achieve in my life, what I'm here for, what do I want to stand for, what my purpose is. And that's what Steve Jobs famously said in his Stanford commencement speech, which you should watch, by the way. I mean, don't listen to my stuff here. I mean, listen just to him. And he said, like, if you get up in the morning and you're not really excited about what you do, you can't do it for a long time. And this is true. This is especially true for entrepreneurs. It's true for employees. It's true for everyone. So find something that makes you excited. And of course, not every task is excited. Not everything will be awesome. There will be downers. That's life. But find something overly that you're really, really interested in, that you want to teach to people, that you want to solve, and think about it really, really hard. And all I'm saying here, especially with purpose. And another thing is point 5, or 6, self-awareness. Who am I? What are my strengths? Not like getting a clear picture of your purpose and knowing who you are takes time. And it's based on actions. It's based on your side projects. The more you do it, the more you execute, the better you will understand yourself. The people you want to work with, the business model you want to work with. I, for example, moved from publishing reports into the startup world. I got misled by the billionaires out there. I thought everyone would be a billionaire. I was certainly too much driven by money, by fame, and startups wasn't a model really working for me. And then I read the book from Tim Ferriss, The 4-Hour Workweek, that kickstarted the whole passive income lifestyle business approach that a lot of entrepreneurs online are following or pursuing. And there I found my niche. And within this huge bucket, there are so many different business models. As I mentioned that before, blog, YouTube channel, podcast, you name it. I think I found my niche now, which is courses. I think I might be a good teacher. At least that's what my coaching clients in the one-on-one sessions or workshop sessions tell me, that I have a good resonance with people. And that's now what I try to do with my courses. That's why I'm giving this lecture right here. Even though I was scared and a little nervous beforehand, that's what I need to do. And Seth Godin in a recent podcast with Tim Ferriss said, fear, it's nothing to be feared about. Fear just guides us into the right direction. So if we are frightened about something, then we know for certain there we need to go, because that's where we are leaving our comfort zone. That's where we are raising the bar for ourselves. There we are growing. So if you feel little frightened or even more frightened about something, you know that's the stuff you need to work on, which comes in handy and easy. That might not be the stuff you need to be working on. So whenever there's something holding you back, something reluctant or fearful, that's the way you need to go. Okay, let me go in here. I jumped a little bit in between on the website, between networking, going to events and meetups, and knowing who you are, like the self-awareness part and the purpose part. I underlined the experience part. So I understand that not all people directly jump into doing themselves, like doing a project for themselves, writing a blog, doing a podcast or whatever. You then experience entrepreneurship. And I recommend 2 places, either startups or digital entrepreneurs. Don't go into big companies. Try to find startups who are not in the first days. You can be, but I would recommend further down the road, maybe 5 to 10 full-time employees. If you're living in a city where no startup is based, or where not a lot of startups are based, move to a city where startups are based. Move to Berlin for the summer. You will be finding plenty of opportunities to work for startups. or alternatively work for digital entrepreneurs, like for example myself, or other entrepreneurs who kind of are a jack of all trades. We need to come up with a sales page, a website, so we need to code a little bit, we need to do copywriting, we need to write blog posts. I certainly interview people on my podcast. I have a wide a range of skills I'm trying to learn right now, and I know it's like all over the place, but that's how I keep control of my business. That's how I keep 100% of my ownership. The mundane tasks I outsource to VAs, virtual assistants. But that's the second option I would recommend to consider is digital entrepreneurs, working for them instead of startups. Okay, let me see. What other point do we have here? Outcome. That's the last point before actually doing it. What do you actually want to achieve in life? And I know that's the big thing, and I know it might gonna change over time, but we all admire something, either fame, money, reputation, authority. Maybe we want to have a healthy, balanced life, but free, financially independent. That certainly is my path. So again, take time to consider, what do you actually want to achieve in life? Is it building a company and starting a family, or an NGO, or whatever? Just think about it for a moment. And just to be sure, for most successful entrepreneurs, money isn't what makes them get up in the morning. So take time to find a mission, a vision, like a direction where you want to go. What's your contribution to our world? What's your contribution to other people? How do you serve other people? And along the journey, don't forget to have fun. Don't forget that we are all just human beings. We are doing mistakes. Don't stress out about mistakes. And here I'm certainly talking to myself because I'm stressing out too much about mistakes and stuff. I wish sometimes I would be successful overnight, but becoming an entrepreneur, it's a journey. It's certainly a marathon. And the reason why I labeled it becoming an entrepreneur, I believe everyone can become an entrepreneur. But now comes the point. I think not everyone will become a successful one. And by going through those steps, and before starting your first side project, knowing what you want to achieve, knowing who you are, knowing what your purpose are, might sound theoretically, but you can sketch it out a little bit. Think about those, like I consider them really important questions in life. And I hope this way you can then shortcut a little bit of the journeys other entrepreneurs took. Like certainly I was one of them, going into the startup scene and then realizing that's not really what I'm here for. And I hope those points were helpful for you. So let me reconcile for you. So how to become an entrepreneur in 60 words. And here I'm reading from the website. Learning the startup and online business basics to become confident when you go to network events. Building a network, point 2. Point 3, experiencing entrepreneurship at startups or working for digital entrepreneurs. Point 4, learning to be self-aware. Defining your talents and strengths. 5, defining your purpose. 6, knowing what you want to achieve. 7, starting a side project. Have fun and be yourself along the journey. I hope this was helpful. Please leave me a comment on the StartupGeist.com start page, or send me an email at danny@startupgeist.com. I might gonna include a slide here in my presentation, and I am looking forward to hearing from you. Thanks for listening, and all the best on your entrepreneurial journey. Thanks. Bye.